Hello, Phil Newton England back with another Crystal Maze video. Now, the last one I did, we had a look at the reboot series with Richard Ayoade, and I gave you my comments. It did sound a bit negative, but I did love the show. It was great that it came back. But today, we're going to look at the American version with Adam Conover. I've got an episode already, so I'm going to play it again. I'm going to go through it with my views and a few details, and let's see what we think of this one then, shall we? Again, I've got to put it on fairly silent because copyright reasons. I don't want to get my videos all taken off YouTube. But I have put it on a little bit so I can hear what's going on, but obviously I know because I've watched them that many times. So let's begin then with the Nickelodeon Crystal Maze. Again, it has an intro. Adam does various things. He's ironing, he's ordering pizzas, he's cleaning the dome. 10 episodes in total they did. Again, lockdown stopped production of that, unfortunately, because I would have felt that there would have been a second series, to be fair. But anyway, yep, good intro as well. The music again, it's Force Field by Zach Lawrence. This time it's been tweaked again, different to the UK version. This one's by Ryan Lofty and David Butterfield. I have made some more notes, yes. Ryan Lofty and David Butterfield, and they've done a fantastic job. Again, it's more punchy. It's more punchy, more electronic than the UK version, the UK reboot one. Check them out as well. They're all on social media, Instagram and X, and they've got a few more details about it and how they went into it and how they created their sound for it. Let's have a look at the visuals as well. Different visuals. It's more crystalline. Is this one? There's a big crystal in the middle, and they're going down into the facets, as it were, a posh word, down into the facets of the crystal, like the camera's going through a maze itself. And again, absolutely brilliant, more up to date, more modern. That was done by a company called Big Star. They've also been responsible for House of Dragons, Percy Jackson, some stuff for ESPN. And I recommend you check out their website. That's bgstr.com. They've got some fantastic stuff there on the Crystal Maze. They've even got the initial concept designs on their website. Check them out. There's not just the opening credits, there's videos, there's stills of different angles, but there's also some shots of the contestants. I think it's just the staff that work there, but it gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. So I said, check that out, bgstr.com, Crystal Maze. If you put that in the search bar, it'll take you directly to that. Some brilliant, brilliant stuff there. So we're going to have a look then again. One thing they've done on this one, in the UK versions, you had to do something to gain entry into the first zone, whether that's answer a question by the ship's computer or the knight, climb over stuff like industrial, or Aztec, you had to go down the river. Again, this is something that I was going to mention in my previous video. In the UK reboot, there wasn't the Aztec River anymore. Again, that was down to the size of the studios. They had to, make it a little bit smaller, but also safety reasons as well. If you think there's going to be a massive tank of water for you to sail down and there's electrics all over the place, it's not very good. So that was two of the reasons, safety and space, why they didn't have an Aztec River. Somebody did once put that there was going to be like a zip slide down to Aztec, but obviously I think that was just their opinion. That never came out. What happened, it was, as I'm sure you all know by now, they built an extra piece near the V tunnel where you had to move rocks or branches, or the Christmas special was all treasure things. You had to move them, then get through the tunnel, and that would take you into Aztec. Again, I'd say futuristic, you had to answer a question with a computer. Medieval, you had to pull chains or just climb under or over the gate, depending on which series it was. This one, the US version, you were straight in. They had a quick chat with the contestants, and they were straight into the zones. Now, I do believe that you did have to do tasks, but that's been edited out because the time, as I said in my previous video, the American series has a lot more adverts, so you've got to be really quick with stuff. So I think they've cut out the exits, and the reason I know this is there was a bit in industrial. One of the teams entered industrial zone, and where the barrels were, something was covered up, and I believe it was the plunger that was covered up. And at the beginning, it cut to Adam talking to all the contestants, and then said, "Right, let's go into the maze. The gates were open, and the plunger wasn't covered up anymore; it had been taken off." So I think they have done it. They've just, as I say, they've just edited it, which is a shame because to me that's it's part of the show, isn't it? But it doesn't spoil it. It doesn't detract from it. Yeah. So I think they've done that as well as say for all the other zones as well. But let's have a look. Again, let's have a look. And then teams, talking to the teams, they're all families in this one. It is a Nickelodeon. It's a family orientated channel, so it is going to be for families. Again, I didn't mind that. I think this was different, the fact that it was all families. As I did say before, if you know people, you're a bit tempted to buy them out straight away. But some of the families were a bit ruthless in this series. But yeah, no, they were good. They were good. I enjoyed the families. Nice mixture as well. We had a deaf team. I think it was like same sex parents. I think I don't know. Don't judge me on that. A deaf team, did I say? So all different types of team. It was really good and fantastic. They all did well as well. Let's have a look then. What else have I got to say? No Aztec River. Adam's suits, wow, they are fantastic. Now, I think with Adam, he wore a different suit for each episode. There was only 10 episodes in total, and Adam wore a different suit. Now, I did try and find his designer. He did tweet it once, or X, put it on X once, that he named the designer of all his suits, and he gave him a big thank you, and I can't find who it is. I've had a quick look, and I've come up with Alicia Silverstein, but I don't know if she's the one that actually. I know she worked on the show. Whether she was the ones that designed his costume, I'm not sure. If I find out eventually, I'll put it in the comments below. I'll pin it in the comments because obviously she gets, she deserves credit as well. Fantastic suits, gold ones, colourful ones, multicolored, fabulous, fabulous suits. There was a thing as well. Obviously, as I said, production stopped because of lockdown. One of Adam's jackets, it was basically black, but it had all different like paint splash colours on it. It was actually later seen worn by Alan Carr in RuPaul's Drag Race, and then just the other week, Brian May from Queen was wearing it at a big event, and I knew it's the same one because I've took screenshots and I've looked at where all the angles are and everything. Plus the fact that I knew they were specifically made, they were bespoke. They were bespoke made for Adam for the Crystal Maze, so I knew that there wouldn't be any more of these. But just check that out, Alan Carr and Brian May's also on it as well. I don't know whether once filming ended they went back to somewhere like Angels, which stock all TV and film shows, or some other warehouse, and celebs can go in and look through them all, see if they fancy it. Oh, I'll hire that jacket out for the day. I think that's probably what's happened. Such a shame because I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind it in my collection. And that means if that jacket's there, maybe his other jacket's there. So yeah, Adams looks fantastic. He's got jewellery on. He's painted his nails, different colours, as I said, for each episode. And it looks great. I love Adam as well. He doesn't have a gadget as such. He doesn't have like I said before, a mouth organ, a harmonica, a whip, a hand on a stick. Adam doesn't have anything like that. And the great thing I love about Adam is he takes the contestants by the hand and takes them to the next game or the next zone. Richard Ayoade was a bit stand back from that. Adam gets them. Even at the end of some episodes as well, he gives the team a big hug as well, which I think is fantastic. It's that team bonding thing of the team and the presenter as well, which I absolutely love. So next up then, let's have a look. I'll look at the contestants' costumes on their own clothes. Again, it's the same, exact same jumpsuits that they wore for the UK versions. The only difference being that there was it that side? Yeah, that side. Watch my microphone. Got a new mic. Nickelodeon. There was the little Nickelodeon patch on the breast, so to speak, on the breast there, on the chest. A Nickelodeon patch there, and obviously they were done in different sizes this time because there's family members of all heights and sizes and everything. Notice as well some of the Velcro on some of the jumpsuits are black. Some of the other Velcros are white as well. That's something to watch out for when you're doing reviews and stuff. You've got to look into detail. So I've noticed that as well. But yeah, absolutely same. As I say, I love them. I love the jumpsuits. You know, I've got a few. I think I've got 5 of them because I absolutely love them. I think they're brilliant. I still need a purple and a yellow one though, so just putting that out there. Let's have a look then. The Mega Crystal. The Mega Crystal came into play at this point. It came into point at this point. Came into point at this point. Came into play at this point. And I noticed with the US version, Adam didn't mention the Mega Crystal until the first game was played, until after the first game had been played. So they play the game for the normal one and then say, right, come in, it's play. It's the Mega Crystal. Again, it's just a big crystal. We know all about this. We know what it is. It's a bigger crystal and it gives you 10 seconds of time instead of 5 if you complete the game in time. So yeah, that was used in this show as well. They did nice graphics as well on the screens to sort of advertise that the Mega Crystal was in play. The games themselves, yeah, all the games are exact same games that were in the UK series, taken from different series 1, 2, and 3. The majority were from series 3, but we did have 3 that were taken from Medieval. Obviously, we don't have Medieval now in the Nickelodeon version, it's Eastern Zone, but 3 of the games were tweaked. That was Pillory. As I said, these all came from Medieval. Pillory, which is one where you have to put a stick through these holes and hook these keys, and you had to find 2 keys to open the chest. The other Medieval game was Disappearing Bridge, where you walk over the bridge. As soon as you get to the other side, the bridge collapses or folds in on itself. That moved to Eastern. And the other one was The Shrinking Room, where you have to get into the room, get the crystal, and the gates would shut behind. And while you were trying to get out through 3 different fences or gates, one of the walls would start closing in like that. In this one, you had to take it from a tower, a pagoda tower, take the crystal up to the top, take it out, which I have got. Check on my other videos. I've got the tower there. Take it out there, and in the meantime, then the wall would start moving in, trapping the contestants. Some did it, some didn't. Some get locked in. So those are the 3 that, as I say, they were originally Medieval. They were then tweaked for the Eastern Zone. Other ones as well were used, as I said, from the UK version. Some were slightly painted up a bit more, brightened up for a family audience. But yeah, very good games as well. The producers, Nickelodeon producers, sat through some of the episodes of the UK version and sort of picked out the games which they would like. A lot of the rooms weren't used twice. Didn't have 2 games in. I think it was like the standard. I think there's probably 1 or 2 rooms that did vary the games, but a lot of them were just the set games. No Jarhead as well. No Jarhead appeared in the Nickelodeon version in any of the zones. So that was more just a British thing. Let's have a look as well on my notes. Yeah, talking of games, there was only 2 games played per zone. As I said, American TV has more ad breaks, so you can't fit as many games in. So two games per zone, given total 2, 4, 6, 8 games in total. Normally played one game each by the adults, and then 2 from the children. Give them a bit more time and a bit more fun inside the maze. So a chance to win 8 games. Again, the Crystal Dome's the same dome, more colourful lights on this one, more patterns, different patterns you could have. And yeah, the big difference with this one, they played for money, whereas the UK ones played for sort of adventure days and experience days and things like that. The American ones actually paid for, I think it was £25,000, was it? I think it was £25,000 if you got 100 gold or more after deductions, and then that went down 50, you got so much, and so on. They still got the crystal as well. They still got the I cracked the crystal maze crystal as a prize as well. They got one of those each, plus that monetary prize as well. Again, some teams did do it. They did get the jackpot over 100 gold. Some didn't do very well. But there you go. Yeah, it's fantastic, fantastic production. Again, Adam does interact with the zones as well. That was another thing I was going to mention. Industrial, there's a couple of times he goes over to one of the pipes, turns a lever, and all mucky water comes out into his cup, and then sort of cuts away, I think, and then he takes a drink of that. Another time in Industrial, he puts a marshmallow on a stick, and there's them big flames. He puts the marshmallow into the flame, puts it between a sandwich, and eats it. Eastern Zone, he's had an exercise bike. Aztec, he's had a sun lounger, puts some sunglasses on, and has a drink. Another time, he played like a handheld LCD game. What else has he done? The Spot the Difference game. He wore, every time it cut back to Adam, he had a different jacket on or a different disguise. Just a little fun. So yeah, he's immersed himself with his own more. And his thing with Adam is he's kept it this fantasy element. He's not said it's a studio. Do you know what I mean? And there might have been a couple of times when he said he's just made a paper or something as a joke, but he's kept the fantasy element up of the Crystal Maze, and I think that's a fantastic thing. That's, to me, that's what the Crystal Maze is about, and that's why I love Adam. He's fun, he's bright, he's joyful. He goes with that fantasy element, as I said, and he's just so jolly and happy with it, and he looks like he's having a great time as well. I wish there'd have been another series. You know, I loved it. I loved Adam Conover. It was on Nickelodeon UK. I don't know if they'll ever repeat it again. Thankfully I've got them on a hard drive. I've got all 10 episodes on a hard drive. But yeah, it's superb. Superb. Like I say, I wish it would have come back again, had another series. It'd have been nice if Nickelodeon had built it over there, built another maze over UK, over in the States, sorry, so that they didn't have to fly all the contestants over. But you know, I don't know. I don't know what the ratings were for it. But no, I say I loved Adam. I met him as well. I finally met him. He came to UK. He was doing a European tour, and he did a gig in London. He did a stand-up routine. It was a bit more adult than what you see, and I was like the second row from the front. Great guy, and he promised everyone that he would go out after the gig. He would go out into the street and he would sign autographs and have a selfie with everyone, ask questions as well if you had any personal questions to ask him. And he did that. He stuck to his word. There was a massive queue at London, at the Leicester Square Theatre. He went outside and he signed autographs, took selfies, etc. True to his word, and he dealt with every single person in this line. So he's a true gentleman. No airs of grace. He's fantastic. So there you go, Nickelodeon. If you can get to see it, do see it. I recommend you do. It's totally different twist to the UK version with Ayoade, and I absolutely love it. So there you go. I think I've covered everything. If there isn't, again, I'll put it in the comments below. And that's it for now then. Until next time. See you later.